You don't have to say that just because I'm here.
Okay. Ben. Kevin.
They can't hear you either, and Andre, you don't have to worry about it.
Probably everybody in NASL.
Nice.
Especially the people that pay me. Team Root.
Team Root. TT1 is definitely your brother.
TT1 is definitely my brother.
Major is your cousin.
Team It's Gosu. That is my team. So I probably should have said them first.
Yeah.
I guess.
Quantic, your little brother.
Quantic? Complexity?
Quantic? Really? You're tight with so many North American teams, man.
EG. Team Liquid.
Yeah, well, my family
Mouse,
would be LGIM,
Dignitas.
MVP.
I probably should start observing this game.
FXO is pretty good as well. I'm really tight. I'm really tight with Nest team, man. I'm just like, yo, Lim J Duck, you want to practice some TVZ? He's like, sure, man. And then he crushes me.
Fnatic. Dignitas.
Actually, true. It's true. Yeah, actually, Andre's actually reporting. I think I'm not very close to many teams, although I wish I was.
No,
But I really enjoyed having the Root guys.
Honestly, there have been so many teams and even managers in teams that have helped me out. Odie has to be one of those people that,
Dignitas?
yeah, just super nice guy, very, very giving. And I feel like he's been, I mean, like, he hasn't been, like, super, like, he didn't change my life or anything, but he's just been an awesome guy. I appreciate that a lot. But of course,
Andre,
Fnatic.
you're an awesome guy.
I don't want to
appreciate that a lot.
Oh, you make me blush.
Yeah, this is a bromance going on here. We need some tissues.
What's going on with this game, though? Stuff's going down. We see a double assimilator right away from Arthur, by the way, on 17. A little bit different than the 15, but I like this. What you basically do when you go 2 gas, it's like, okay, if I get scouted, my opponent can think I'm going to Stargate, Robo, Twilight Council. All of those options are plausible. But if you only use one gateway, one assimilator, then he's like, okay, you're probably going some sort of gateway pressure or an expansion, something like that. So that's why it's super common to actually see double assimilator openings, and that's also why it's super common not to actually scout. You can see both these players not really scouting. And it's because that early probe scout really doesn't tell you anything anymore in PvP.
Yeah. Although I feel like the significance of it is so much more because Arthur went 1 gas in the previous game, and now he's double gassing a lot earlier. And while Hasuobs also has double gas, he's playing a lot more of the safe style, you know, where Hasuobs went 2 Zealots early on to make sure to deal with any kind of Zealot Stalker trade. And I feel like in this scenario, Arthur's the one being very tricksy and mixing it up. He's placing a Stargate. Wow.
Now, Stargate is to actually take care of people that go 1 gate Robo, and we don't have 1 gate Robo. We have 3 gates.
He went Sentry first, man. Arthur goes Sentry first. Andre, I feel like, did you coach him for this matchup?
No.
Did you coach him? Because Andre goes Sentry first, too.
I go Sentry first, but I don't go the Stargate. I go for a Robo expansion. I like that. But
Ohana is really good, actually.
It is, because you don't really see Stargate too much. I shouldn't say that.
You should tell him the story of Crank, man.
I do not want to tell that story. Okay, how ridiculous is this? I play Crank on ladder, okay? Axiom Crank. He goes, oh, we're on Antigua Shipyard, and he goes Stargate against me. Now, that's like the most popular Blink Stalker map that you could possibly get, and he goes
behind clip copy.
Yeah, and he goes
Stargate.
He goes Stargate against me.
And
I'm
Andre's
like, oh
yes,
my God.
This build would beat Crank's Blink Stalker build 100% of the time.
That's what I actually said to myself.
He doesn't go Stargate.
And then I scout him with an observer, and I see a Stargate. I'm like, what is going on with the world right now? Crank, you just destroyed me. Yeah. And I was like, I got all angry. I was like, God, Crank is so cheesy. He just went a freaking rock, paper, scissor build. And then I go, wait a minute. I just went a rock, paper, scissor build. And I'm like, okay, Craig, you're okay.
Andre just like went back to laddering.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
I got so sad because I was like, this is my chance to show everybody Crank is streaming. I'm going to look so cool in front of all these nerds.
Gretorp was like, I was like watching Crank stream, and I was like tilting the screen because Andre didn't want any advantage whatsoever. But it's really interesting, the dynamic between Blink and Stargate. We actually have it right now, Andre. Can you explain what's going on here? Is Hasu going to be okay against these Phoenixes?
It's going to be tough. I mean, Blink Stalker isn't super necessary against Stargate. You actually don't need to go Blink against Stargate play. It's just an added benefit. You don't want to be reacting to Blink, though. But the fact that he already has it, it's pretty nice. Now, what this attack is supposed to do is actually disable that one sentry, make it so that, nice force field, disable the sentry, and then he can just walk up, and then all of a sudden, he has sentry, force field, and guardian shield to work with. So it's really, really nice in that sense. But I feel like the fact that, Hasuobs is pretty nice over here. He still has another force field to work with. He's going to be looking good. And look at how many units were actually forced out of this. You can see that Hasuobs is now going to give a little bit of aggression here. And Arthur could be in a lot of serious problems in a little bit coming up. I mean,
maybe. I think if you disable 3 Stalkers, there's not enough real DPS.
That's true.
To really do anything. And although Hasuobs is moving out, the Zealot sentries are completely segregated. Guardian Shield emergency pops up, but that is pretty devastating. Although picking up the Stalker counts is very nice as well for Arthur. But just like you were saying, Andre, if you can catch him out of position, very, very good spot. And the big thing is the Phoenixes use energy on the probes. They don't even have anything. They're just sitting supplying resources right now.
But you know what? I think Arthur will be able to stabilize off of this. I don't really feel like Hasuobs can do too much because remember, those Phoenixes now can pick up additional units. All of a sudden, Hasuobs has the Stalker disadvantage, but he needs to be so careful. Here we go. Picking off 1 Stalker. That's going to help a little bit. But wow, nice taking out the sentry. But we already have the Robo out. An Immortal should be actually being made. Oh, he's getting an Observer. I like that too, just clearing out the your opponent's Observer so they can't consistently blink micro.
Phoenix should insta-snipe it, so you don't have to worry about blinking out of position.
And Hasuobs looks like he's containing pretty nicely. I like what we're seeing so far. But the Zealots are so intelligent. Nice Observer snipe immediately, as you said, Frodan. And now what can Hasuobs really do? I feel like committing to this would be really, really silly. So just cancel that, go for the expansion, and just sit back a little bit knowing that you have most likely the expansion advantage on your opponent.
Like the timing on it is better.
Yeah, correct.
But with the Stalkers there, the Phoenixes can harass. Sure, the bottom of the ramp's kind of contained, but as long as Arthur plays his cards right, he still should be able to be pretty good positioned economically in terms of tech. His Robo's out much faster, and Hasuobs, as much as he would be able to, still be able to contain his opponent, can't really push him. So I think Arthur's in a pretty good position.
I agree. And right now, Arthur, with the Immortals being there, he's stabilized so substantially. The Phoenix is given the perfect scout so that he's not going to lose to any shenanigans. But 2 Zealots are going to be warped in here. Arthur doing a great job. But look at the Sim City really coming to work for Hasuobs, just stopping those Zealots in place. But nice Phoenixes actually helping out quite substantially. Now those Zealots will die. That's a pretty cool play, actually.
Yeah, and now these Zealots can harass. Phoenixes really want to do something, but I guess they're gonna micromanage. They're gonna make sure these Zealots do damage, and then after that, they're just gonna leave.
Run away, run away, run away,
they're
run away!
They're just gonna leave,
Phoenixes!
Andre.
Okay.
They're just gonna leave.
Just gonna leave. But the Immortal advantage is going to Arthur pretty substantially. Now that's a big problem going into that mid-game stage. Really Hasuobs wants more Immortals in his army, because if you have Colossus against Colossus at pretty even numbers, the Immortals are the ones that are really going to be starting to take shape. And you can see the Stalker count. Let's look at the units tab. And remember, 15 to 8, but for every 2 Stalkers, it's 1 Immortal. And you can kind of see the relationship right there. Arthur still behind in economy a little bit from the opening stages, but I think he has better quality units just because he started his Immortal count slightly later. So, well done.
Well done indeed. And now it's hit a relative stable point. Neither player can really kill each other right now. And I think it's just going to be several moments of passivity and probably transition to the inevitable Colossus Wars, unless Arthur really wants to capitalize on his Immortal advantage, which I don't think he really will, because there's no incentive to really move out right now.
I don't think he has the ability to make those calls, but he isn't getting, actually, you know what? He's not getting his 3rd and 4th gas. I think he's going to try to hit a timing, Frodan, to be completely honest. Because we don't have a Robo Bay coming out. We have 2 additional gateways going down, which is not very common. Additional Immortals are being chrono boosted out. He's not looking to defend, so he's looking to attack. And he's taking advantage of Hasuobs' huge Stalker count. But is attacking up a cliff really going to be that effective? That's what you have to ask yourself. What we need from Arthur is like an offensive blink to kill off all the sentries, and then he can actually let his Immortals in. But, a lot of micro blunders could actually happen. So we'll see in a little bit.
Well, Hasu is transitioning to Robotics Bay. Arthur still using this Phoenix to kind of scout. Kind of looking forward to seeing hallucination uses as well, because you can hallucinate, scout, and hardest one. They're doing a lot on one sentry.
It had full energy too, Frodan.
Sentry scout. Super expensively holding the tower up. Blink forward. Takes out a couple of these stalkers, and all of a sudden, the stalker advantage for Hasuobs is 17-16. And Arthur's going to push up here. He has the immortal advantage. The force field not really blocking out some of the damage. Or sorry, I was talking about Arthur's force field. Arthur's force field is not really trapping any units. And Hasuobs able to block out most of his units. He does trap another sentry as well. Good placement thus far, but can Arthur break through? He wants to do damage before any Colossus is out. Massive warping as well on the top of the ramp. Arthur flanking with Zealots from the north.
Oh, that is really cool. But still, the Sentry force fields are just so powerful. And now he's targeting down the Immortals. But nice offensive blink forward. And the Zealots, where are they? They're actually going into the mineral line, really disrupting the economy of Hasuobs. Arthur, he's going to be able to actually break the front here, move up into the natural. No, probes are coming front. And it looks like Hasuobs was able to clear out a lot there. It's such a shame. Look at Hasuobs' defense though in the main. That's so brilliant. Arthur wasn't paying attention, and he got the Zealots to actually funnel into a single little node or whatever you want to call it.
Wave. Hasuobs killed some workers also. Natural Arthur. They're fighting also at the bottom of the ramp. Action everywhere on the map. A big blink from Arthur to try to take out this immortal suicide blink, if you will, because I think Arthur's going to lose almost all these stalkers, but he's killed out so many workers at the same time. Another warping as well from Hasuobs, and he should be able to stabilize. But wow. Arthur also suffered some losses as well, but in the end, the damage report, 34 workers to 28 probes. Arthur slightly in the lead.
Slightly in the lead, but I wouldn't even say that's like a considerable advantage. I mean, both these players are nearing one base. You can see Arthur is mining out pretty fast over here. The main base of Hasuobs will mine out pretty fast after he actually resaturates that. He still has a good, 2 minutes on all of these. So things are just getting into micro battles, and it's pretty cool what we see so far. I mean, what it comes down to is the first person to really situate themselves and start getting, I want to say, Colossus is going to the person that has the big advantage, but Arthur is consistently putting on pressure, so he can't even push out that Colossus. Actually, the 200 gas is going to be so important, getting those sentries, getting those stalker count, getting the immortal count, and we're going to see another battle right here.
Zealots there's a lot of Zealots. In fact, he utilizes the Zealots, the lack of position to blink forward. Arthur able to capitalize on positioning, and those Zealots from Hasuobs are not really paying dividends whatsoever. Excess of minerals, not able to really help him in the battle. The Zealots from Arthur are winning. Hasuobs not able to stay in position with his immortal either. Can't really do the damage. And Arthur's reinforcements are streaming in. Andre.
This is going to be it, Frodan. Those Zealots want to actually be targeting down the Stalkers. Instead, they're going Zealot on Zealot. You need to punish that aggressive blink, and GG gets called out. Hasuobs falls, and we have a 1-1 score. Really exciting play coming out from Arthur.
That was really cool, capitalizing on positioning. The warping on the high ground. I like that Hasuobs also tried to do the same thing in the midst of all those things. Sent Zealots to his opponent's base. There was 3 places where there was combat where if anything went wrong terribly, you'd be in trouble. Because if you lose probes at either bases, you're in trouble. If you lose your army, you can't hold off against the push. Great balance between these two players. In the end, Arthur able to barely eke it out because they were kind of even, man. Like, Arthur had a little bit more probes, but Hasuobs was mining gas from 2 bases. So these kinds of things all comes down to one small thing, and it seems like Hasuobs drew the short end of the stick, Andre.
That's right. A really well played Arthur is going to take his win over here in this best of 3. We're going to move on into our last and final game of this series. Don't go anywhere. Arthur versus Hasuobs after this.